But all of you who
Thank
said you're
you.
feminists, I do have a question. Do you think women should be drafted?
Me?
Yeah, to the women who said they're feminists. Into the mic.
You are going to always hate my answers.
So first of all, some people might not
Wait,
have all the information to answer.
No. Just let her answer.
Well, okay, so obviously we need a military just in case we go to war.
Yeah, there's a volunteer
100%.
military. Yeah.
Yes. And then the draft just in case we need to send
need more.
extra troops to war.
Yep.
I don't know.
Wait, but didn't you say that feminism is one of you two who said feminism is about equality, right?
I mean, I would say yes if that was the case. If you want to go like 100% follow equality, then you'd say yes.
But like, why the hesitation with the answer?
Because it's just on that. So number one, men are the ones that chose for men to go to war.
Well, that's okay. Let's assume that we had a female president.
Even easier, let's just grant that you're right. Let's say that a nation state, an evil nation state of evil men, like communists, for instance, decided to attack a sovereign nation because they wanted their resources and this and that. And the men of that nation defended that nation against those evil men. Is that them then deciding to go to war, or are they going to war because war was forced upon them?
No, I wasn't saying in that context. I was saying men chose for men to be drafted in the U.S. And not choosing women to be drafted as well.
So?
So I'm saying
It's a
you
man
guys put down yourself.
So?
Right. Okay. So wait, let me.
Wait,
I
is
understand where
equality?
you're coming from.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Is equality
Yeah,
the
I
idea
think-
that if previous generations laid down an unjust policy, that means that modern generations, if they're striving for equality, would not try to repeal such a policy?
Good answer.
No, I get that.
The thing is, I think that if I can say this real quick and no one interrupts. I think that some people don't have all the information to things and don't know what to answer because you're going to do like a gotcha, like, bam, like you're going to go here with this and I'm going to say this. That's why some people don't want to answer because they don't know where you're coming from. So if all the information is laid out.
So unless you can predict whatever my logical response is going to be, you're
No, because
terrified
you're
to give your
following-
position
you're-
because it could be wrong?
I'm saying that we know what you're like. You're literally doing this all night.
My God.
Yeah, so here's what I do. I haven't heard any of your arguments. I don't know any of you. You could have bedazzled me, razzled me, completely defeated every single argument that I had. The thing is that unfortunately, you're predictable. And the reason that you're predictable is because most women in modernity are NPCs who just regurgitate what they've heard and they
Andrew,
don't have
disavow.
original thought.
I
If you want to talk
disavow.
about NPCs and no
If I
souls, you want
couldn't
to talk about one
predict what you were going to
consciousness right
say,
now?
you would have completely
You wanna
obliterated
go?
me. If you're terrified to give a position because you're afraid I'm going to blow it out, you should really rethink your positions.
Maybe you should just talk to people like
Hold
kinder,
on,
and
hold
then they
on,
wouldn't
hold on. Let
feel
me actually
nervous.
move it forward.
Your
That's how I
debate, bro,
feel.
coming like
That's how I
crazy.
feel.
Why are you so aggressive? Chill.
Hold on, let me
It's
just
not-
move it
It's
forward.
not aggression for me to point
I don't
out.
know.
Let
What have
me
I, hang on, what have I
move it
actually
forward.
said which is aggressive?
I'm
What have I
trying to
done
move
which
it
is aggressive?
forward, but y'all just keep talking about the
one.
meta
No, Brian,
It's Andrew.
conversation.
Kick him off.
Go,
Guys,
Brian.
Okay, all right. So, okay, let's get the answers from everybody. Okay, feminists. So, do you actually want to answer the question?
To the draft.
Yeah, let me get everybody's answers before either of us.
So
give
my
our-
answer was I don't know.
Okay.
Let's
okay.
stick with that.
Okay, what's your
'Cause
answer?
It was.
So should women be drafted under this context?
What?
Yeah.
What context? There's no context.
Like
And using
Because-
logic and saying that it's equal and that means women.
Okay,
should
here's the
draft too
context.
now.
Men are subject to the draft. Women aren't. Should
Yeah.
women be subject to the draft?
So saying
Yeah.
that feminism is equality, you would say
For sure, yeah.
logically, then
But
yes.
I'm just saying, here's my anecdote real quick. I think that rich people's children should be drafted first and foremost because
What?
it's a rich man's war, and we send poor people to war, so it should be rich people's children, which are like the senators of the fucking House and Reps.
Okay.
So that's my
All right.
anecdote. Thank you.
Wait,
No, let's
wait,
not
wait.
get
I
bogged down.
gotta get into this incoherency, Brian. All
We
right,
can't.
fine.
We gotta let everybody else answer. Okay, go ahead.
I don't believe in the draft.
Okay, but we do have a draft, assuming
good
that the
one,
draft
too.
will never be gotten rid of. Should women be drafted?
Well, kind of what they brought up is men design the draft. It's not really, my feminism point
Wait,
isn't
hold on.
about equality.
Men designed the draft. Okay. What does that have? One, what does that have to do with anything at all?
A lot, because
How?
the men design.
You don't think if women were, let's just say we elected to every single country in the world.
Yes.
We just elected all women into power. You don't think that you think there would just be peace?
Yes.
You think it would just be peace? There would not be
Yes.
war? What if I told you if they did a analysis of queens, monarchs throughout history, and they found that queens were more likely to wage war than kings?
That's hard for me to believe. And under
there's literally-
Andrew's
they've
kind
done
of
an
way
analysis.
of, like, can you name a few queens?
I don't know off the top of my head, but we could pull up the study if you doubt it. Nick,
No,
pull
I
up the
just,
queen study.
I just think that
Yes,
a lot.
yes, it's Andrew's position.
I just
Andrew can
think-
name some of the
Cersei.
queens.
Wait, I just think some of the queens were in response to defending their country from attacks. So it wasn't
What
so
if they
much
were
that
wars
they
of
wanted.
aggression?
They didn't want to go to war. They were responding and
They
protecting.
started the wars.
and protecting.
Wait,
their
but hold on.
countries.
They attacked sovereign nations.
Wait, but
not,
hold on.
Not they were attacked. They attacked.
Wait, but hold on.
When I think about Queen Elizabeth and even like the Belgium Queen, they were actually trying to protect their countries. And same with Queen Elizabeth. I mean, there was a few Queen Elizabeths
Who is Queen Elizabeth trying to protect her country from?
from the other countries that were trying to
Yeah,
invade.
what was the other country called?
Which time? Which time, Andrew?
The first time.
The first time, well, it was from the Germans. Well, no, that was the second time. The first time was who was?
Are you talking about the
Prussia.
most recent
Prussia's.
monarch?
No, the one before. The one before.
Well, yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
like the
the
queen
one before, I think,
who
was
just
like
passed
Prussia.
away.
No, not her. The one before.
It was
Because-
before. Wait.
And then
of-
there was
of
like
England?
Scotland.
Wait, the Queen of England, the one who just recently passed
There
away.
was two Queen Elizabeths.
No, I'm pretty sure the father didn't. The father pass away, and then she.
There was another
Wait,
Queen
was there?
Elizabeth.
Was it the? There was a queen.
Elizabeth. And then the
Was there?
dad, and then another Queen Elizabeth. But the
Oh,
first
so
one,
you're saying, like back in the 1800s?
I'm not sure exactly the years, but there was
Wait,
a queen
what?
who was trying to protect and was like through Scotland and then France and then all these different countries, and then Prussia were trying to invade her country. So she was
You're talking about Elizabeth II?
the
Her
one.
no,
the one that
yeah,
had,
I was
like, a
right.
white
Her
face.
her predecessor was George VI. So there was not king, queen, and then the queen that just reigned.
Yeah. I didn't
her
keep track
predecessor,
of like
her
the,
predecessor
but I'm just
was
saying,
George VI.
I was making certain
Okay, I'm not gonna
observations
go
about
down.
queens trying to protect their kingdom. So
But
they
in
weren't
any
creating
conflict,
wars.
there's the belligerent, there's the aggressor, and I guess military conflicts are not that black and white. But if there were two kings, there would be a king who he's being aggressed upon. If we're kind of
I'm just saying, on the
looking at this very
whole,
simply.
women and queens, like their job is to protect their country, right? And so they were doing it in defense, not creating wars like a majority of men rulers
Okay, so your
like to
position
do.
is-
So,
so you're-
back to the draft.
Yeah,
back
so
to the
women
question
should not be drafted
is
then,
like,
because men.
no, I don't believe in the draft. Neither men.
Okay, but-
I believe both should have the choice whether or not they want to fight.
Okay, that's
You know
great.
what? That's
but-
totally fair. I just got to ask a quick follow-up. If your country is attacked by a sovereign nation, who should defend it?
People that want to fight.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's
But
men
should your
and
country
women.
then be able to institute a draft?
No, I don't believe in the draft. I believe that a man and a woman should make a choice about whether or not they want to fight. And
Yeah,
actually,
so-
women are better at shooting a gun and
No, they're
bows
not.
and arrows. Yes, they are.
No, they're not. Based on what? Where did you come up with this? Is your source I just made it up?
I was trained in shooting guns, and I was better.
I was
than
trained in
the-
shooting guns too.
Better than the
And I was
Navy
better than
SEAL.
all the women who
Wait,
were around
whoa,
me.
whoa, wait,
Hang
Andrew.
on. I gotta know. I gotta know.
No, Andrew, you did not. Wait, hold on.
I don't think
You
you heard
better. I don't think you heard that. Say it one more time.
About which
Better
part?
than.
The men. She said better
no.
than the
A
men.
Navy SEAL trained me how to shoot a gun
Oh, I
for
thought
the
you
first
said better
time.
than Navy SEAL. Okay.
No, for the first time, I shot better than him, and I shot
Your first.
all the
Your
targets.
first time you shot better than your instructor.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you a
Okay.
question.
They said
just
women
just a
on
very
the
quick
whole
one.
have
Just
better
a
sight.
very quick cut in. What was the type of gun you fired?
I shot a 45 Magnum. I shot a
45 Magnum.
yeah, and then I shot
Oh.
2 other guns.
What was the 2 other guns?
I forget. It was when I was in college at UCSB.
Don't magnums.
That's
have,
the first. That's the first time I've ever heard of
Yeah.
a 45 Magnum.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew.
Was it a handgun or a rifle or an SMG? What was it?
I don't remember. It was just 3
Wa-
different
was it
guns, and the
really
last
long?
one, the
Wa-
last one
was
had
it
quite
really
a kick.
long or was it short?
Oh, stop!
Wait.
Was it like this?
Now you're making a
Or was
reference
it
to
like
something
that?
else.
Well, no. I'm just asking
a
you.
dating
Look, if you're so skilled, a Navy SEAL taught you how to shoot a 45 Magnum.
It was
and
like
you
no,
blew
there
him
was,
out.
There was a
it
22.
a gun that was like this
There was a
or like
22.
that?
There was the last gun had quite a kick, and so I know it was like
That was probably.
All right.
The 45.
Okay. Let me get everybody's answers on this. Should women be drafted?
Do I want to be drafted? No. Should they be drafted? Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think that there should be equality of opportunity, but not equality of outcome. So, I mean, I personally, I think that if women are going to want to be treated as equals, then yes, they should be drafted. And that's only fair. But I also like how some other countries do it where it's mandatory for like a year or 2 years for males and females, because I feel like that goes across all the socioeconomic levels, and some people are not going to be able to skip out on it and just leave the burden of protection to everybody else's kids, and especially the lawmakers. You know, I think they would be less likely to enter into trivial things if they knew their kids were also being impacted by that decision, you know? But to go just to the question you asked, if women want to be treated as equals, then yes, they should be drafted.
That's good. I think women should be drafted. In fact, I think equity would dictate that for the next 1,000 years, only women fight in wars and only women are drafted. That's fair. That's fair. That's equity. That would be equitable. You know, for the thousands of years, men were the ones fighting in war. I think it's fair. It's equity.
Whose fault
That's
is that, though?
that's
Who's
equity.
the
I don't even believe. I don't believe in equality. I
Like, all of a
believe
sudden it's our
in
fault.
equity. Okay, I believe in equity. Get out of here with this equality shit. Okay.
Oh snap!
Now. Oh my God.
He's feisty.
Anyways,
Podcast. Who is he?
hold on. Let me get these
Who
chats.
is he?